In the vast expanse of the deep ocean, where the boundary between the tranquil surface and the high, clear sky is like walking in the first rays of dawn, lies a world surging with the rhythms of life. It is the world of fishermen, people who have dedicated their lives to the waves, the wind, and the heavy, grateful catchers of the sea. For generations, the sea has never been an easy neighbor. Sometimes it is gentle, stretching out in a tranquil, emerald green expanse like a mirror, embracing small boats. Other times it rages furiously, erupting in violent, white-capped waves, ready to challenge anyone who dares to navigate its spatial formula. Yet, behind this uncertainty and certainty lies an inexhaustible treasure. A rich source of grace bestowed by nature upon those who know how to fight, awaken. To prepare for a major fishing expedition. A survival or death fishing campaign for the entire crew, preparations had to begin days in advance. From midnight onwards, the atmosphere at the dock was incredibly enthusiastic, filled with laughter, shouts of commands, and the roar of engines echoing along the coastline. Tons of ice were loaded into the ship's hold, diesel fuel drums were packed tightly, and most importantly, the soul of the trip was the fishing nets. These are not just threads and ropes woven together by the skilled hands of the craftsmen, but the crystallization of hope, sweat, and faith in a bountiful harvest far out at sea. Each net is neatly arranged, in sequence, ready for the moments of testing human will against the fervent power of the ocean. As the dragon rises from the waves and advances into the deep sea, night gradually falls, giving way to a night sky devoid of stars. The moon hung high in the sky, casting its reflection onto the dark water, creating a mystical, tranquil scene that was deeply moving. On the deck, the atmosphere was one of intense concentration. The seasoned fishermen, their skin tanned by the sun and wind, their hands calloused from the salt spray, and their eyes as sharp as razor blades, were glued to the radar screens, the modern navigation equipment, and, most importantly, their seasoned intuition. And then, the most anticipated moment arrived. When the first buoy signaled the appearance of a pack of crocodiles several meters below the surface. The atmosphere on the ship became more tense than ever. Commands rang out from the experienced commander. Each member of the crew immediately took their positions, coordinating seamlessly in perfect unison. This was not simply manual labor, but a symphony of unity. The nets, measured in meters, began to be lowered into the sea. The whirring of the engine shattered the stillness of the night, each heavy circle plunging into the calm, cold water, creating invisible yet determined embraces. The reinforcement process demanded absolute precision, calculating every angle, release speed, and resistance to the ocean currents. A single misstep could wash away months of excitement and success. But with the skill of those whose lives time passed in the recovery chamber. Night drew to a close, and the first golden rays of dawn began to cast their light on the distant horizon, painting the vast expanse of space pink. At this point, the battle to haul hundreds of tons of fish aboard the ship. From below, the hydraulic fishing system was activated at maximum capacity. The roar of the engines, like a storm of steel, harmonized with the rhythmic lapping of waves against the ship's hull. The steel wires, taut like strings, bent under the weight of an immeasurable mass. All eyes turned toward the ship's side, where the rising particles stretched upwards towards the water's surface. And the sight that unfolded before them truly left anyone who witnessed it gasping in astonishment. The entire expanse of cool, calm water, with its swirling white foam, shimmered with a brilliant silvery light in the early morning sun. Hundreds of tons of fish of all kinds, from mackerel, perch, and herring to large deep-sea species, were thrashing and churning, creating a force that could tilt the hull of the ship. The fishermen's eyes lit up with indescribable joy. It was the reward for their exhaustion, their sweat, their tears, and their resilience in the face of danger at sea. However, pulling the fish aboard was only half the battle. The biggest challenge at this point was how to safely bring such a massive amount of cargo onto the deck, while the pressure from the fish in the nets weighed down the hull and the entire structure of the ship. The strength of hundreds of tons of fish wasn't just a dry number on paper, but a terrifying physical force. The cables rattled violently, some making a metallic scraping sound that was almost audible. With all their skill and hard-won experience, each section of the net was gathered, tightened, and the net bag sped up. The fishermen, in their soaking wet protective suits, their bodies reeking of the salty seawater, worked tirelessly, one hand wielding poles, the other controlling the net, coordinating their movements like precise machine operators. Each fish hold rose onto the deck, forming towering mounds that completely covered a vast space. Laughter and chatter drowned out the sound of the waves, dispelling the fatigue and the biting cold of long, sleepless nights. Looking back on the journey, to achieve this glorious moment, those at the forefront of the waves had to endure countless hidden dangers. The vast ocean always holds surprises. Some voyages return empty-handed in quiet sorrow, while others face storms that seem insurmountable. However, the fishermen's spirits never wavered. For them, the sea was not just a place of survival, but also a nurturing mother. A challenge to hone their character and source of prey whenever their boat, laden with fish, retournait d'homme. As the sun cast its brilliant rays upon the deep blue sea, the work of gathering and sorting fish on board continued diligently. The large holds of the boat were already filled with the freshest seafood. The process of catching hundreds of fish is not only a large-scale economic activity, but also a symbol of the strength of solidarity, unwavering will, and deep love for the homeland's seas and islands. Through each heavy stroke of the pen, the tradition of nurturing the sea is renewed, passing on the flame of passion and reverence for nature from generation to generation. And so, the stories of heroes in the vast ocean will continue to be written. as the ship cut through the water and turned back towards the harbor. Leaving behind the vast expanse of the distant fishing grounds, a new rhythm began on the spacious deck. Unlike the intense tension of the hours spent confronting the immense weight of the 100-ton catch, the atmosphere now was filled with a joyful, bustling, yet equally urgent feeling. For the victory achieved far out at sea was only half complete. The task of preserving the catch remained. Sorting and preserving the freshness of that enormous quantity of seafood to ensure it reaches consumers in time requires an equally tireless labor cycle. Under the brilliant golden midday sun, the calm sea surface is like a giant mirror reflecting the clear blue sky. Thousands of fish still lie neatly in large storage compartments, layer upon layer, forming an invaluable asset that the sea has generously bestowed upon those who are brave enough to venture forth. After hours of battling the waves and reeling in the fish, the fishermen, though exhausted and their protective suits drenched in sweat, showed no intention of resting. Inteiros de shown a mere accomplishment of the joy of labor, and above all, of responsibility for the sweat they had shed. The sorting of the seafood was carried out with incredible professionalism and speed. Each group was clearly assigned its own tasks. Each person performs their assigned task, like a perfect link in a closed production line in the heart of the ocean. The plump, gleaming tuna are carefully separated into a designated area. Next come schools of mackerel, herring, and scat arranged neatly in layers. And other rare and precious seafood species are also meticulously selected to ensure the highest commercial value. Laughter, chatter, and lively exchanges filled the air, blending with the low hum of the engine and the rhythmic lapping of waves against the ship's hull, creating a truly vibrant symphony of coastal life. To preserve the original freshness of hundreds of tons of fish from the ocean depths until they reach shore, the ship's modern refrigeration system operates at full capacity. Layers of finely crushed ice are evenly distributed, covering each layer of fish. This ensures that the temperature inside the hold is always maintained at the optimal level. This job requires meticulousness and incredible endurance, because even a slight lapse in attention can affect the quality of an entire massive catch. But with their thorough understanding of every aspect of the fishing trade, the master fishermen always know how to carefully and completely take care of their catch, just as they cherish their own families' lives. Saint Froma Farish glides majestically across the vast ocean, leaving behind a long, white streak of waves. On the ship's flagpole, the bright red national flag flutters in the sea breeze, a powerful affirmation of sovereignty and the unwavering determination of Vietnamese fishermen to defend their islands and seas. For them, each sea voyage is not simply a fishing trip to earn a living, but also a journey to affirm the presence of humanity in the face of pristine nature.